Let's get started. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable, seated posture. And feet about a hip's width apart and shoulders lined with the hips. Imagining your spine is a string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just imagine there's a piece of string above the crown of your head and there's somebody there just very gently lengthening. As you're lengthening and getting longer, allow the shoulder blades and shoulders to drop down. And just come to the crown of your head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth. The back of the head, relax the neck, the throat, the chest, the belly, the arms, the legs, and your hands, fingers, feet, and toes. And just imagine everything just kind of softening and relaxing. And also lengthening, maybe also expanding. And as you're breathing, try to imagine you're also breathing into the back of your body as well as, just the front part of the chest. That's where we think we're breathing, but actually it's a 360-degree breath because our lungs are expanding in all directions like a balloon. And be aware of any sounds in your environment. So try not to follow the sounds with the mind. And then notice what thoughts are arising in your mind this evening. And are they different to the thoughts you were experiencing yesterday evening at the same time? So different things may have happened today. You may have different information in your mind. You've had different interactions with people. And just be observant, just a little bit objective. Take a step back. And try not to criticize or judge what's going on. Try not to get too involved. And then we can just put ourselves on the bank of our river and just watch it. Watch the quality of the water, the speed of the water, the depth of the water. And know that while you're sitting on that bank, you're free from the river. And then there's all the people of our life, our loved ones, the ones we hold so dear to our heart. There's our strangers, and then those people in our life we find a little bit more challenging, but they can all change place at any time. And they're all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So I think there is no negativity that can't be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can create positivity as well. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So here we have our beautiful Vajrasattva. Pretty soon I'm going to bring Vajrasattva down from upstairs. Right now he's high up upstairs, and I'm going to bring him down, and you will see at the end of next week, after Judith's moved, I'll bring him down here. Put him behind, you can see in real life. So we're not looking for this higher power here or someone to forgive us. We're going to do the work ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this little section here on compassion, and in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings and the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we'll have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Sutukaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan, Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Sutukaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan, Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan, Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan, Sawatata gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra a humpe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriam Kuruhum, ha 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 ho, Bhagawan, Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe, and Bajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya, Bajrasafa Dina Patita, Dida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Humpe Bhadrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Bhadrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So again, feel very happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a room and that's dark and you flick on the switch, the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So just imagine here The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, grudges, and depression, resentment, jealousy, all of this is instantly dispelled. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutukaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you can imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hompe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Sipokaya Mibawa Anurakta Mibawa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe. So now feel completely purified and imagine there's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve. And this is our fourth and final step in the purification process. Quite crucial. This is the determination to not harm with our body and speech and mind again. Well, it might never be never again, but at least we can start somewhere, making a decision that, it doesn't feel super comfortable for us to be harmful to both ourselves and others. So we just make a decision that we're going to kind of move in a different direction. So all this habit energy we've brought from, relationships and parents and upbringing in this life, and we've brought along from our past lives. Some people have this habit to be angry. It didn't come from this life. So we have all these kind of habits. So we just try and make a determination to change them. And we do have the power to do that. And then it becomes like a beacon that guides our body and speech and mind in new directions. And everything does exist on the tip of the wish. So that can be our wish, not to harm. So think of something that you have been working on recently, something you would like to continue to develop within yourself. And just notice as it shifts from being, it changes from, I don't want to do this anymore to, I'd like to be more like this. Be more like somebody who amplifies other people's goodness, amplifies your own goodness. Amplifies other people's good qualities. Give credit to their ideas, creativity. So imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light, absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next we think about emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created from doing this practice, ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So what I'd like to do now is just a verse of those Manjushri verses, if I can find them. Here we are. Okay, let me share that. Can I share?
Yes, you should be able to.
I have. Okay. Let's just do it. Then we're following His Holiness's wishes. Okay, then we just do. See, we can just do like this. You can just do like a little page like this. Chanting the names of noble Manjushri from the words of Buddha in Indian language, Arya Manjushri Sangiti. In Tibetan, Pagpa Jampal Gisan Nyangdagpa Jopa. In English, chanting the names of noble Manjushri. Homage to ever youthful Manjushri. Then the request. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, supreme subduer of the hard to tame, the hero conquering the triple world, the Vajra Lord and master of all secrets, with eyes wide open like white lotuses, his face just like a lily in full bloom, while shaking in his hand repeatedly a Vajra of the highest excellence, accompanied by countless Vajrapanis with features such as fierce, turbulent brows, subduers of the hard to tame, heroes appearing with heroic, hideous forms, brandishing their hands, their mighty Vajras, the tips of which emit intensive light, great benefactors to all living beings, through skill, through insight, and through great compassion. It keeps going on, with pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies those of wrathful deities, protectors who assist the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverently. Pay homage to the true awakened one, protector, blessed one, Tathagata, and joining his two arms respectfully, he said before the Lord the following: O omnipresent Lord, for my well-being, with due concern for me and for my sake, that I may reach complete awakening upon the bias of illusion's net, and for the sake of every living being sunk deep into the mud of ignorance, their thoughts disturbed by various afflictions, so they may obtain the highest fruit, may you, the most supreme awakened one, blessed one, the world's guru and teacher, who knows the great Samaya's reality, aware of wishes and abilities, reveal to us the great name, chanting of the wisdom body of the Blessed One, the great Ushnishna, the master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation. I think that's enough. All right. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. Thank you. And let's just dedicate all our practice and the chanting the name of Manjushri to and our Vajrasattva practice to the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all our precious teachers. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for Tara. And lots of love and good night. And thank you for hosting. All right. Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you, Venerable